If you think government spending is just a little inefficient, think again. Elon Musk has just blown the lid off what could be the greatest financial scam in modern history. Not millions, not billions. We are talking about trillions of dollars that have completely vanished, sucked into a system so broken, so corrupt, that it almost seems designed to fail. But here's the actual shocking part. This is not merely a matter of mismanagement. This is an engineered black hole for cash, where the US government has lost total control of $4 trillion. Yes, you heard that correctly. Musk, ever the no-nonsense icon, uncovered this huge financial scandal, exposing just how the government is laundering taxpayers' money through pseudo-NGOs, fake programs, and blank checks signed with no oversight. It's an insanity, a recklessness, that if a private enterprise was conducting its finances in this manner, it would be broke within weeks. Yet this isn't an enterprise, it's the US government. And rather than going out of business, it just continues to print more and more money, driving the economy deeper into a hole. How did this occur? And why isn't anyone doing anything about it? One of the finance experts tweeted, "Just look at this tweet. This is a pure explanation of what exactly happened and how Elon exposed it in a Doge interview. Musk exposed one of the government's scariest secrets, how nonprofits and NGOs have turned into one of the largest money laundering operations in history. The worst part? It's all legal. This is how it goes down."
We'd see, there was a case where we saw one person was getting $1.9 billion sent to their NGO, which basically got formed about a year ago and had no prior activity.
The government funds NGOs, sometimes in the name of humanitarian assistance, climate change projects, or community development. These NGOs, which were established just months prior to being funded, receive billions of taxpayer funds. And then, the funds disappear into a labyrinth of bank accounts, shell companies, and obscure financial statements. One of them is especially outrageous. One NGO alone, an NGO that didn't even exist last year, got $1.9 billion from the US government. That's billion with a B. No strings attached, no reporting requirement for how it was spent, no outside audits. Just cash, given away with no questions asked. Where did it end up? Nobody knows. It wasn't utilized to construct infrastructure. It wasn't utilized to help during relief operations. It wasn't invested within the country. Rather, the funds vanished into the void, never to be seen again. And this isn't the one time this has happened. Hundreds of these NGOs spring up, rake in billions, and disintegrate, leaving no record as to where the funds went.
And it's a misnomer, because if you have a government-funded, non-governmental organization, you're simply a government-funded organization. It's an oxymoron.
Right, it's a loophole.
And here's the part where things get even more suspicious. The individuals operating these organizations, they all have connections to politicians. What a wonderful coincidence, right? These are not random charities attempting to help make the world a better place. They're money black holes created to vacuum taxpayer dollars into private funds. And they've been doing it for years. Musk didn't stop there at NGOs. He pointed out some of the most ridiculous government spending. Things so preposterous they sound satirical, but they aren't. They're actual, and they're costing taxpayers billions of dollars. Consider the US Navy, for instance. They were allocated $12 billion for new submarines. That's enough to construct a whole fleet state-of-the-art, cutting-edge military ships. And yet, 0 submarines were constructed. None. The funds were exhausted, but there is no receipt to show for it. No accountability. Just 12 billion taxpayer dollars vanished. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The government also spent $250 million on transgender animal studies. What in the world does that mean? Nobody knows, because nobody's auditing where the money ends up. But nothing compares to this. The Social Security Administration still lists 20 million dead people as alive. And some of them, they're still receiving government benefits. That means the US government is literally paying pensions, Social Security, and other benefits to dead people. And nobody is stopping it. This is not merely bad record keeping. This is systematic blunder, a conspiracy to accumulate government funds into pockets that will never be searched. It's not merely wasteful, it's illegal. Think your credit card bill is bad? Try running a nation like this. The US government is now spending money at a rate of $2 trillion annually. That's not spending, it's deficit spending. What does that mean? We don't have the cash, we're just printing it. And the surprise? The interest on the national debt now surpasses the entire US defense budget. Let that sink in. More money is being spent by the government on interest than on the military, police, and border security combined. Musk likened the government to a badly managed business with a never-ending credit card. But even that may be being kind. Visualize a company that faces $2 trillion in losses each year, signs blank checks without keeping tabs on the payment, doesn't let auditors check the books. Such a company wouldn't go up, it would vaporize. But for the US government, the mountain of debt just grows larger. And what happens when you borrow too much money? Eventually, you have to pay it back. And when that day comes, the entire system could collapse. Musk not only revealed the issue, he also documented why the system is rigged this way. The truth is, government agencies miss basic accounting audits routinely. They just don't have any idea where the money is going. Most payments have no detail. Billions of dollars just vanishing into thin air. This is not an accident, it's a system feature. Money is funneled through charities and nonprofits to legally launder taxpayer dollars. It's a huge scam in plain sight. Musk thinks that this must be changed. He's advocating for compulsory tracking of all payments, a straightforward solution that would make it impossible for money to disappear without a trace. All government transactions must have a payment code and a transparent explanation. NGOs must demonstrate tangible results before they receive any funding. And agencies that don't pass audits? They must have their funding withheld until they balance their books. But this is the dilemma. The bureaucracy does not want to change, because ending the scam shuts down their money machine. This is a turning point in history. For decades, the US government has spent trillions of dollars with no accountability whatsoever. But now, for the first time ever, people are demanding, where did the money go? And if the system doesn't shift soon, it could implode on its own. What will happen with the US government is as clear as it seems. They are going to be held accountable, but the question is, will this work? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Wealth Files as more scams are ready to be uncovered.